How you doing, guys and gals? I want to do this quick video in regards to a comment that was left on my review of The Tall Man. That was a pretty crappy review, so hopefully this one will be better. Username JessieW9871 asked me to review a few of these movies, so I'm going to do them kind of quick. And I'm doing them in my laundry room because my girlfriend is sleeping in the other side of the house and I don't want to wake her up with my loud-ass, annoying voice. So he gave me this list of movies, and I've watched most of them. The other ones are kind of not my kind of movies. So we'll start out with his first movie, Vanilla Sky. Now, Vanilla Sky came out in 2001, and it ran 2 hours and 16 minutes. Now, Vanilla Sky followed Tom Cruise's character, who, in a kind of futuristic world, you later find out is living a dream which turned into a nightmare. And the nightmare entailed him killing people and going crazy, losing his fame, his wealth, his knowledge of what's going on around him. And pretty much it's a story about perception. You only perceive the world around you as well as the other things around you can perceive back at you. It's kind of like looking into a mirror. It's a really confusing, mindfuck kind of movie because usually all of these kind of movies, it's confusing all the way up until the last 15 minutes, and then it describes what the hell you just watched. And when I watched this movie the first time, I was young, obviously, and I didn't get it at all. I mean, in my head, I couldn't get what I was watching, so it was really confusing to watch. But the ending, it's not worth it to me. So Vanilla Sky, for not watching it in a very long time, I would give a 2 out of 5 for satisfaction value, because you kind of feel cheated. And that was Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz, and Penelope Cruz. The next movie on his list, he says The Professional, but The Professional is like a 1971 kind of crime mafia drama, so I think he means Leon the Professional. Leon the Professional is one of my favorite Hitman movies ever. Not because of the violence, not because of, you know, what a hitman does is kind of like an anti-hero, sort of. Leon is the coolest hitman that you can find. He's clean, he's precise, he's intelligent, he's French, and he's played by Jean Reno, which is awesome. This is one of the Carrier movies that Natalie Portman was in, even though she's been acting since she was like 4. But Jean Reno carried this movie, and it just tells the tale of a hitman who's doing his job, he's living his life, and then comes along a responsibility of taking in a child whose family just got killed, and he does a little vengeance killing on returning the favor on killing the family who killed the daughter's family. Yeah, it's really hard to pay attention when I'm saying it, but the movie is really nice. The 2 favorite things about this movie for me is it's just a good character story. I mean, you have a hitman who's supposed to be really cold and calculating, but you can tell that he arcs into a lovable guy. I mean, he's a father figure to this girl. The other character is played by Gary Oldman, and he plays an awesome bad guy. He should play more bad guys. I know that's his thing. I mean, he was Dracula, and he played the bad guy in The Fifth Element, and he's really good. And The Book of Eli, he was really good. I wouldn't say a bad guy. He just, whatever. That's another story. But Gary Oldman plays a great character. Natalie Portman is kind of in this movie. I mean, she's young. All she needs to do is cry and be an aspiring hitman. Kind of a love relationship with Jean Reno. But it's a very nice movie. The other favorite thing about this movie for me is Luc Besson. He is the writer for this movie, and let me pull up his little track record right here. He is a writer and director for some of the best movies, in my opinion, that I like. He did the Taken movies with Liam Neeson. He did the whole Transporter series. He did Lockout, Columbiana. He did both District B13 movies, which, if you don't know those movies, they are one of the, if only, great parkour movies. Um, he did The Messenger, the Story of Joan of Arc, and I mentioned The Fifth Element before with Gary Oldman. He did The Fifth Element. Luc Besson is just a great actor. Sorry, I'm spending too much time on the movies that I'm doing. The next one that he lists is State of Grace, Romeo is Bleeding. I've never watched those movies, so I can't really give an accurate thing. The next one he lists is The Beach. I can't say that this is a launching pad for Leonardo DiCaprio. This was 7 years after he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He already did The Man in the Iron Mask, Romeo and Juliet, which I thought was a very good movie, and what did he do before? Titanic. That's the one. Duh. Number one. But The Beach showcases how good of an actor Leonardo DiCaprio is. It's a very mental, psychological thriller. And it's not like what he did in Shutter Island. It's somewhat on the same page, but a different library, if you can catch my pun there. It tells the tale of a guy who just wants to get away from his normal life. He wants to break the pattern that he is. He finds this rumor of a hidden beach with its own community, and he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go and live my life without any rules. It's kind of like a Castaway meets Fight Club. Really, if you think about it. I mean, he wants to be isolated, he doesn't want to live by any rules, and he wants to do the things that he wants to. But that in turn, as you watch the movie, turns out to be just a big, huge clusterfuck. It's a great movie. It keeps your attention, and you kind of want it to be longer. And there's a lot of good action and like deepening emotions that happen in this movie, and a really good rendition of Redemption Songs by Bob Marley. The next movie he lists is Sunshine, Cinderella Man. I haven't watched either of those movies either. Cinderella Man came out when I was younger, and I really didn't care about watching a boxing movie. Even though I liked Russell Crowe, I just didn't want to watch it. The next one he lists is Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks is a fantastic movie. And I got 7 minutes on this. Kevin Costner plays a really bad guy, which he should play more of. He does a very good serial killer in this movie. But, again, it's got a psychological twist to it. He actually is a schizophrenic, and he's got two different sides of him. One is the killer, one is the good guy. And he's got a battle in this movie. It's very nice. And if you're not a fan of Dane Cook, he gets killed in the movie. Oh, spoiler. The next movie he lists is Candy. Never watched Candy. I watched Hard Candy, but I didn't know of this movie about Heath Ledger. So that's being honest. Requiem of a Dream, you said in quotes, you probably hated it. I never watched it. Heat, just a quick comment on Heat. Heat's a fantastic movie. Heat is the epitome of a bank heist movie. It's got Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, one of the few movies that they are in together, and Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore. Fantastic movie. Oh yeah, and it's got Danny Trejo in it. Trejo, whatever. Great movie. It's one of the crime movies that you should have in your collection. I mean, it goes right next to The Godfather, right next to Goodfellas, and maybe Casino. I mean, they all have pretty much the same cast in them. He has The Salton Sea, never seen it. Wonderland follows John Holmes, the porn star. Val Kilmer is excellent in that movie. Fantastic. Ravenous, I've never seen. 28 Days Later changed how we see zombies. Before 28 Days Later, we didn't really give respect to zombies. We always thought that, well, they're slow and stupid. They can just be killed easily. Well, when 28 Days Later came out, it was a phenomenon. I mean, this movie turned out to be a cult classic movie that was made on a very short time frame and not a lot of money. And it introduced us to Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris. Without 28 Days Later, we wouldn't have the Scarecrow in Batman, and we wouldn't have the awesome Caribbean witch kind of, I don't even know what to call her. She was the sea god in Pirates of the Caribbean. I can't even remember her name, actually. But the other 3 movies he has is Carriers, didn't see it. The Hurt Locker, didn't see it. I know that's a shocker. And we have Memento to carry out the list, to finish it. Memento is a great movie. I don't know what it is about the movie, but it's another clusterfuck movie. You don't know what's going on. I mean, it's really hard to follow, but the movie is badass, just the simple fact that they could make it. The idea behind this movie is awesome. It's just, it's hard enough to put on paper, but it's a great movie. And if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, this is one of his movies. And he was commenting on saying that it took about a decade to write Inception. I think he took nearly the amount of time to write Memento. But it's just a very difficult movie to explain in such a small time. But it follows a man who loses his memory, and he has to figure out why he lost his memory, but he has short-term memory. That's the kicker. That's the catalyst. So he has to write down or tattoo everything that he has done in that day so that he doesn't forget it. So just imagine trying to investigate something so pivotal in your life, but in a day's time you'll forget everything that you just learned. So it's just it's a heavy movie. I mean, you're on this journey with him, and you have to take everything that he has, and then you just keep getting twist after twist after just discovering what has happened to this man, and it turns out to be a pretty awesome ending, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. So I hope that's as satisfying to Mr. Jesse, and I'm going to email this video to him and see what he thinks. Jesse, if you want to comment on this video or give me any other movies to review, thank you very much. I love doing these mini reviews. I've only done 2 other ones than this, and fantastic. So I've hit the 12-minute mark. I'm surprised that I've got these. Sorry I've talked too much. Thank you again, and remember, go to thepausemenu.weebly.com for my website for video game and movie news, and I just posted my new Best of the Week for September 3rd to the 8th, and there's a lot of good news and videos on there and stuff to laugh at and look at, and thank you for watching, and from the laundry room of the Pause Menu's home, I say thank you for watching. See y'all.